This girl is paid between 50 shillings and 100 to arrange for the rape of other girls. And this is where it all begins. Outside this establishment, everything looks normal. We parked outside on one Sunday afternoon to monitor the happenings here. This is one of the many discotheques in town, where every Sunday afternoon, young boys and girls all under 18 years come in their droves from different parts of Nairobi, especially Eastlands, to have a good time. From 2 p.m. to 8 or 9 p.m, it's called the jam session, and it's only 100 shillings entrance. These young ones will indulge in drinking and dancing the whole afternoon, and what goes on behind the tight security at the gate cannot be aired on national television. I spoke to a few of them off the record and found out that their parents are either not aware where they spend Sunday afternoons, are aware but they ignore it, or they just don't care. It's 9 p.m. and the jam session is over. This is always the trickiest part for most of these girls, as the gang of boys prey on young girls left exposed to danger under the cover of darkness. They are either surrounded, dragged through the streets to a matatu, or have someone set them up in a matatu full of young boys. This girl who frequents the jam sessions stopped after witnessing an incident that changed her life.
Siku moja tulikuwa tunaenda huko jam, nilikuwa mimi na besi yangu. Sasa venye tulienda huko, tukafika tu huko vizuri, tukaenjoy, tukafika juu, tulifika huko 6. Sasa tukatoka huko masaa 2 huko. Tukakuja, sasa kurudi huku juu tunastay huku Kayole. Kurudi huku, tukapanda gari, tukafika tukashuka hapa hivi Nyando. Kushuka hapa hivi Nyando tukaipita hivi. Tukaona group nyingine hapa hivyo wamesimama hapo. Na tukaona vijana wengi wakaanza kuongea. Mimi nikasema hapa hivi ngako kudenja. Na best yangu akasema yeye amezoea, hakuna kitu yenyewe watu wanatufanya, je wanaonanga hapo hivyo kila siku. Nikasema the way tulikuwa tumedress iko vizuri sana. Nikasema tukifika hapa hivi hao vijana mibisa zingine wanaweza anatushika. Yeye akasema yeye anaenda, yeye ogopi. Mimi nikabaki nyuma nikasema wewe endanga, bibi mtu mmoja kitu kimfanyikia, mimi naweza explain niseme ilikuwa hivi. Akaenda kufika na huko mbele, hao vijana walikuwa kama 10. Saa juu mimi nikaogopa, tukasema hata si wenyewe tulikuwa na nguvu sana, nikaanza kuogopa, nikaenda kujificha nyuma ya chachi nyingine hapo hivyo, naye akaenda. Kuenda sasa ndio nikaona vijana nikawa wanafanya kazi nyingine, niliona nikawa na mrape. Hiyo ndio kitu niliona. Sasa nikaanza kuogopa juu kila mtu nilikuwa naona kama mtu anamkaa anafunga belt. Sasa nikasema kaka tu kidogo, nikaenda nikaangalia rafiki yangu, nikapata rafiki yangu amelala na aongei. Pia mimi nikaanza kupiga kelele, na juu alikuwa na lose blood mingi, nilipiga kelele, mama wengine wakakuja, juu wengine pia wakaanza kupiga kelele kunisaidia ili asaidiwe. Kufika hapo hivi kupata kama ashakufa, ningeweza kusaidiwa. Alikufa tu hapo.
The girl who died after being gang raped by 10 boys was only 14 years old. We set up our cameras in one of the houses near a gang rape hotspot in Dandora Estate, where young boys meet up, smoke marijuana and wait for their prey. These boys are armed with crude weapons, and for our safety, we were unable to follow them, but some of the girls we interviewed were able to identify some of them. This young schoolgirl escaped death in the hands of this gang rapist. She was in one of the jam sessions in town when friends told her she was being set up by the same girl who set up the other 2 victims I interviewed.
Dem moja akakuja kaniambia ule dem mwenye yuko angazo zetu nao vijana amepanga, sasa mimi ndio nachukuliwa the next person. Sasa wanataka kuchukua azini waende waniteke wanirape sasa. Sasa mimi venye nilisikia hivyo nika take action, nikatoka mapema kwenda stage. Kufika stage nikapata hakuna magari. Sasa venye ilikuwa saa 1:30 hapo. Sasa venye walinipata, wakaanza mmoja akaniambia, "Oh, mbwa wenda kugonga, tebu ingia kwa hii gari tuende." Mimi nikamwambia, "Hakuna kenye naweza fanya, siwezi ingia kwa hii gari, itairi mnigonge mniue."
Walikuwa ngapi?
Walikuwa 8.
Alafu sasa ulifanyaje? Uliingia?
Sikuingia. Nikaenda kwa gari za Meru. Kaambiaje dereva na makanga wanisaidie. Hao wakabakia wananiangalia tu, hakuna action yenye wanafanya. Wakanishika mkono, akaniambia shuka tuende. Nikamwambia hapana, siwezi shuka. Mimi nigongeni mniwe, so wakanivuruta.
I sought to find out from the local administration why no action has been taken on this girl and the gangs that now run riot in the estates.
I know this girl, I even know her by name. I know where she lives. I've summoned her parents to my office. They've came to my office and we tried to discuss about the girls. And we actually did, but the mother, she's from a single...
She's a single mother.
She's a single mother, but the mother is not even... she's not quite serious about the issue. So the girl dropped out of school. We tried to counsel her about going back to school, but she can't. I mean, she told us point blank that she can't go back to school. She's been out into very many things. Like she's in gangs. She's in gangs that she's the only lady in a gang of like other 15 boys. They go raiding. They go even robbery. They take drugs, and she's a mastermind of the group. So
Is it true that she's been gang raped by these same gangs so many times?
Very many times, even before she joined
Did she confess it to you?
She did.
The girl was arrested once, released for lack of evidence, and since then has gone missing. Meanwhile, the area chief is overwhelmed by the rising cases of gang rape with little help from the government. At least 3 cases of gang rape are reported to her office every day. During our interview, she received a distress call, yet another case of a gang rape. It was immediately clear how overwhelming it can be to conduct a rescue operation with no facilities.
Yeah, we've actually have identified the hotspots, and we've been even visiting the hotspots and maybe having like rallies there or open forums to show the men around that we are aware these are hotspots and whatever they are doing is not acceptable to the laws.
Sadly, locals here have not warmed up to the idea of creating awareness to save the young girls, and sometimes it takes the effort of outsiders to try and help despite being antagonized by the very people whose daughters they are trying to save.
Rape and gang rape is becoming terrible in Dandora. And I am happy because girls have started speaking out. If you come to our session and you sit down with girls, 10 girls as a group, at least 5 have escaped a gang rape or a rape, or one of them has fallen victim. She's a survivor.
Phyllis says the biggest challenge is girls refusing to speak out following death threats against family members and lack of tough laws.
It is very risky for us. It is very dangerous. Even us, sometimes it is a risk. But you know, sometimes this is a story if you are to take to a police station to say, kindly escort me to do this and this. It is such a long process. Maybe it will take days, and you want to rescue that girl at that particular moment. Even our chief, I remember last time, she was beaten up. She has a mark because she was trying to rescue a girl, and someone doesn't want her to rescue them.
I attended a session in one of the Fortress of Hope Rescue Centers where young girls who have been gang raped come for counseling and are sometimes given a place to sleep. Those who have not fallen victim come for education and empowerment in this tiny little room.
Kwanza venye ulikuwa usharepiwa, hizo ngozi ulikuwa umerepwa nazo, ufai kuzichange, unafaa uziweke kwa gazeti uende nazo kwa polisi, kwa sababu ukiziweka kwa nylon, air inaingia, air itatoka na utapata evidence.
These young girls discuss sexual and gender-based violence, and maybe, just maybe, someone in here will be saved and perhaps save others from the rising tide of rape and gang rape as parents take a secondary role in the upbringing of these young girls. Meanwhile, Gladys is not in school. Her gang rape experience has made it almost impossible to interact with anyone. This girl, who will be celebrating her 15th birthday in April, was chained and gang raped for a whole night while being beaten by several men. She was a virgin and saving herself for marriage before the horrific act by some boys she could recognize.
Nakumbuka hakuna tukaisha inifanyikia. Ile ilikuwa siku ya kwanza.
Her dream career after finishing university was to become a bridge engineer, and she says her future has been destroyed.
Ili affect kimasomo, nilifail.
Ulifail? After that incident, ulipata nini?
25.
Na before that ulikuwa unapata nini? Average?
350 and above.
These girls, just like any other girls in the country, deserve a decent life, a space to learn and expose their talents and creativity. Yet here in Dandora, they are always on the lookout because no one knows who will be the next victim, as a generation here is slowly being wiped out by hurt and pain.